Let us today start with this raw material turnover ratio. Now, this you must have done in your second year ratios chapter, no? Stock turnover ratio. Okay, but I am going to deal with only raw material turnover ratio because the chapter is material cost. Okay, yeah. See, it is also known as a inventory ratio, inventory turnover ratio, or you can call it as raw material turnover ratio. It would be very specific if we call it as raw material turnover ratio because we are talking only about material cost here. Next, ratio analysis is one of the effective methods of inventory control. Obviously, this is one of the part of ratio analysis. What is the objective behind studying this ratio? Why do we study this ratio? क्या जरूरत है ये ratio पढ़ने की? Because this ratio helps us to find these or identify these four varieties of goods. Okay, I repeat, the objective or the motto or the importance of studying a raw material turnover ratio is to identify raw material as fast moving raw material, slow moving raw material, dormant raw material, and obsolete raw material. Okay, now let's give you an example. Okay, example, then I'll explain this better. Say I have A, B, C, and D. Four raw materials. I'm a manufacturer, okay? And I have four different types of raw materials with me. Now, I hope you all remember about this stock velocity. Okay, when you calculate stock turnover ratio, you do calculate stock velocity also. That means the speed at which the stock is being converted into sales. Okay, that is called as stock velocity. So, say for example, if my stock velocity for raw material A is say 3 days, B is say 30 days, C is say 180 days, and D is say 280 days. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Okay, अब इससे क्या पता चलता है? Raw material A is moving in 3 days. Okay, moving in 3 days मतलब इसका velocity is 3 days means it is getting converted into sales in 3 days. Very good. That means ये ज़्यादा demand में है, इसके लिए ये fast moving है. Okay, next B 30 days मतलब it takes 30 days to get converted into sales. Okay, this raw material takes 30 days to get converted into sales. So that means इसका भी demand है but इसके comparison में कम. Okay, so if you compare it with A, so definitely this is slow moving. Okay, now coming to जो 180 days वाला है. 180 days मतलब 6 महीना. मतलब this raw material takes 6 months to get converted into sales. Very big period. This is called as dormant sales. A dormant raw material or dormant goods. Okay. बाप रे, और ये तो इससे भी ज्यादा 280 days मतलब almost a year. In a year there are 365 days. Almost a year it is taking to get converted into sales. So such is an example of obsolete raw material or obsolete goods. Understood what I'm trying to say? I am comparing the objective of studying raw material turnover ratio is that The raw material velocity helps you to identify raw material as fast moving, slow moving, dormant, and obsolete. Am I clear? Acknowledge it in the chat box. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. So by the time, make a note of this, whatever I have written. Yeah, just write it down. Now, whatever I explained with example, उसी का I have written the meaning. Okay. Yeah. So the objective to study this ratio is first, it helps me to identify, okay, fast moving goods. What are fast moving goods? I just said it may be having very good demand. That is why uska movement is faster. It gets converted into sales ASAP. Okay. Yeah. Materials which have higher rate of turnover. अभी मैंने बताया, yeah. When you have higher rate of turnover, when you have higher demand for your goods, yeah. Such stock should be maintained at higher level. Obviously, जब तुमको पता है कि this your so and so product is fast moving in the market, obviously you should have a higher stock level for such goods. उसका raw material level तुम्हारे गोदाम में high होना चाहिए. Okay, yeah. Next, slow moving goods. Okay, slow moving goods. Materials having low turnover rate is for slow moving goods, but comparatively it will have a lesser demand than the fast moving goods. I just gave an example of A, B, C, D. Okay, so lower level of stock should be maintained in comparison to fast moving. Yeah, I'm again saying in comparison to fast moving. Then dormant goods do not have recurring use but may be required in future. At present इसका demand नहीं है, but future में इसका demand हो सकता है. Okay, मतलब अभी भी ये dead stock नहीं है. आज demand नहीं है because आज today market is not favoring that particular goods today for today. Maybe the policies if they change. याद रखिए dormant goods can be seasonal goods. Yes. मतलब आज डिमांड नहीं है but फ्यूचर में डिमांड हो सकता है. So they do not have recurring use. Okay, recurring मतलब on a daily basis it's not demanded. आज डिमांड नहीं है but फ्यूचर में डिमांड हो सकता है. That is called as dormant goods. The decision about stock level. Okay, so to keep dormant goods in your godown, this should be decided with the help of cost accountant. Okay, cost accountant are people who have done ICWA or chartered accountants. Okay, in consultation with cost accountants, production manager, and purchase manager. So after taking decisions or opinions from these three important key persons in your organization, you should decide whether dormant goods will be kept by you or it will not be kept by you. Okay, तो हम ये नहीं बोल रहे कि इस goods को मत रखो गोदाम में, रखो, but ठीक है, have a opinion with 2-3 people like your cost accountant, your production manager, your purchase manager, and then you keep. Okay, and then obsolete goods. ऑब्सोलीट गुड्स मतलब जो आउटडेटेड हो गए, तो आउटडेटेड हो गए मतलब इनका तो फ्यूचर में कभी डिमांड आएगा ही नहीं. ओके, या so may not be used in future due to changes in product design. There may be a change in demand because the product designs have changed or switch over to a new product. Okay, so such raw materials have to be disposed of. Expiry हो गई है. ओके, या एक्सपायरी डेट हो गई है प्रोडक्ट की, तो फिर आप उसको क्यों रखोगे गोडाउन में. ओके, जब एक्सपायर हो गया है तो ऑब्वियसली इट शुड बी डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ. सो दे आर कॉल्ड एज ऑब्सोलीट गुड्स. ओके, या प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन चेंज हो गया है. ओके, people are not liking that design right now. Next best reason is the expiry date of the product. So why would you keep such products in the godown? It is obsolete product. Okay, so the difference between dormant goods and Obsolete good is only that dormant goods may have a demand in future. You may keep it, you may not keep it. Having your business sense, knowledge, experience, on basis of that you will decide. But obsolete goods, so for sure, you will not keep it in the godown. You will throw it away. You will dispose it off. Okay, because these are dead stocks. Am I clear till here? Is it clear till here? Okay. Then, if you want, you can keep this example also. You can write this example, yeah, for your reference, so that you understand the clarity between fast moving, slow moving, dormant, and obsolete. Okay. May or may not have demand in future. And obsolete or outdated due to change in technology, demand, or fashion. Let's note this down. Okay, done. Next, I write this. Interpretation of raw material turnover ratio. Yeah. A high ratio is fast moving, a low ratio is slow moving, and too low ratio means dormant or obsolete. Okay, okay. But मैंने आपको just बताया, I decide this on the basis of velocity. So जब हम sums करेंगे, we will calculate velocity, and on that basis we will say whether it is fast moving, slow moving, dormant or obsolete. Okay. I don't look into the ratio and decide. I look into the velocity and I decide. Okay, write down the formula. This you all have done in your lower standards. Yeah. Our material turnover ratio is COGS upon average stock. Okay. So whatever answer you get, that is in number of times. Okay. Say if my answer is 2, so it means 2 times. Then what is COGS? Opening plus purchase minus closing. And what is average stock? Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Okay. Yeah. Next, velocity. Now, whenever you calculate turnover ratio, it is always advisable to calculate velocity also. Okay. So the velocity is 1 upon raw material turnover ratio into. If you want to identify your answer in days, then 365, in months, then 12, and in weeks, then 52. Okay, depending on the question. कुछ नहीं बोला है, so I generally do it with days in absence of information. Okay. And this is the importance of studying raw material turnover ratio, because the management can take necessary corrective actions. That is decision making. For what? Yeah, on the basis of raw material turnover ratio. So what decision they can do first? Prevent understocking of fast moving goods, obviously. अगर आपका गुड्स फास्ट मूविंग है तो आप उसको अंडर स्टॉक नहीं करोगे, कम गोडाउन में उसका एक डिसेंट स्टॉक लेवल रखोगे. Okay, it means that. Next, preventing overstocking of overstocking of slow moving goods, goods which are slightly lesser demand. Obviously, you will keep its stock level comparatively lesser than the fast moving goods. It means that I'm not saying कम रखना है, in comparison to fast moving goods कम रखना है. Okay. Then third, whether to retain or scrap dormant stock. I told you, no, this decision you will take on the basis of the opinion of your cost accountant, purchase manager, and the production manager. And whether to discard obsolete stock. Okay. So these are the major decision making, what you call decision making things from the end of the manufacturer, which is done on the basis of raw material turnover ratio. Okay. So is it clear about raw material turnover ratio? Just acknowledge it in the chat box. You see, on this basis, this sum I will explain this one. Okay. Just go through this question. क्या बोला है in this question? From the following data for the year ended 31st December 2013, calculate inventory turnover ratio, that is raw material turnover ratio of two items. So how many items are there? Raw material A, raw material B, and put forward your comments on them. Okay, so you have to give comments on the same. Okay, opening stock is given, closing stock is also given, and purchases is also given. Okay, that's it. So the question is only this much. Okay, so let us start with the question. Let us start. Write down the formula. Write it like this: particulars, keep space, then first raw material is material A, then material B. Okay, then write down raw material turnover ratio. So write down the formula: COGS upon average stock like this. Okay, leave 2-3 lines, leave space because we have to solve it. Here. Then let me calculate COGS. पहले numerator solve करो. COGS is what? Opening stock. No. Plus purchases less closing stock. Okay, this will give me COGS. Okay, so let me start with the formula. So this is my COGS. So let us calculate. Opening stock is 10,000 and 9,000. तो यहाँ लिखो 10,000, 9,000. Next, purchases is how much? How much is purchases? 52 and 27. So right here, 52,000 and 27,000. Then closing stock is how much? 6,000 and 11,000. So right here, 6,000 and 11,000. Okay, solve this. You will get COGS. So yeah, 10,000 plus 52,000 minus 6,000. So my answer is 56,000. So right here, next, 9,000 plus 27,000 minus 11,000. So my answer is 25,000. Okay. So I got my COGS. My numerator I have got 56 and 25. Okay. So substitute here 56,000 and 25,000. Okay. Now let us calculate the denominator. Okay. So right here denominator क्या है? Average stock. Average stock is what? Opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. So right here, solve here. 10,000 plus 6,000 divided by 2. Here also solve. 9,000 plus 11,000 divided by 2. Okay, just solve this. So 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is how much? 8. So I'm writing here 8,000. Okay. So right here, the answer is 8,000. Next, 11 plus 9 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10,000. So I'm writing here 10,000. Okay. So I've got my denominator also. So I'm substituting it here. 8,000 and 11,000. Sorry, 10,000. Solve it. 56,000 divided by 8. So my answer is 56,000 divided by 8,000. So my answer is 7. So I'm writing it here 7. 7 times. Okay, next. 25,000 divided by 10,000. So my answer is 2.5 times. Okay, so box your final answer. 7 times and 2.5 times. Okay, तो वैसे तो देख के मालूम पड़ रहा है 7 times है मतलब A is fast moving than B. But what did I tell you? We will calculate on the basis of what? Velocity. Okay. So I'm writing here 1 and then I'm writing here 2. Now let me calculate stock velocity. I mean raw material velocity. Raw material velocity. Okay. So I'm writing the formula here. 1 upon raw material turnover ratio into कुछ बोला नहीं है ना. I calculate in days, so I'm multiplying with 365 days. You can calculate a velocity in months also, it is up to you, but I prefer with days. Okay, so write down here 1 upon 7 into 365. So solve this. 365 divided by 7, so 52. 365 divided by 7. So 52.14. तो round off कर दो, make it 52 days. Okay, what's your final answer? Next, 1 upon 2.5 times into 365. Solve this. 365 divided by 2.5. 146 days. So right here, 146 days. Okay. And last में you have to give your comment. Okay. Comment पूछा है ना? Yeah. So write down comment. So on the basis of velocity, I would say इन दोनों को अगर आप compare करो तो 52 days कम है. Okay. और देखो इसका velocity कम है. Okay. मतलब ये in comparison to be ये fast moving है. इसको 52 days लगते हैं to convert into sales. देखो the higher, where is it? Yeah. 7 times and 2.5 times, what is higher? This is higher. So the higher the raw material turnover ratio, it indicates fast moving goods. And lower the stock turnover ratio, it indicates slow moving goods. Okay, so the meaning was that, right? But I generally decide on the basis of velocity because that is better. 52 and 146 days. तो इसका velocity सबसे कम है, मतलब ये fast moving है. So you just have to write in the comment, this is fast moving. That's it, nothing else. Okay, just write down fast moving. And in comparison to A, this is slow moving. Actually, here you can write dormant also because 146 days, matlab, it's a big time. But I am not supposed to, if it would have been multiple products, I would have done that. Only 2 raw materials are given. So first is fast and the second one is slow moving. Am I clear with this? Is this clear to everyone? Just acknowledge it in the chat box. Okay. So that's it. This is all about raw material turnover ratio. So next lecture also I will take few more sums. Yeah, this is all what you have done already. I am just brushing it up with the point of view of material cost. तो already आप लोगों ने किया हुआ है. Okay, मैं सिर्फ इसको raw material cost के angle से आपको करने लगी. That's it. Okay. And then next lecture I will also take ABC analysis. This is also one of the theoretical part of material cost. Okay, so that also I will be dealing with. Okay. Okay, so I'm ending with the meeting.